Done by Shimmy. I'll shout out to the sisters. But ISUPK started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And since 1969, we've been teaching so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that you are the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? This is the Thursday Las Vegas scripture breakdown class. You understand? Priest and Officer Shabal holding it down for the night. If y'all could, y'all can like and share these videos. Baba Kashar, y'all gonna get tired of me saying this, but facts is facts, and the fact of the matter is, we teach these classes so that we can wake up the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? For the brother in Puerto Rico, you understand? For the sister living in Spain, even though she's not a Spaniard, but she's living in Spain, you understand? She needs to hear this truth. You know what I mean? For the couple that's in Bakersfield, you know what I mean? For the brother that's in Fresno, you understand? For the sister that's in, Venezuela, you understand? Cuba, the Dominican Republic, you understand? We teach these classes so that we can wake up the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? So when we ask y'all to share these classes, you know what I mean? It's so that the whole 12 tribes has access to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures. You understand? So that they understand these laws, statutes, and commandments according to the Bible. Because without these laws, statutes, and commandments that are in the Bible, you understand, we're going to continue to suffer. And in 2021, we're still in chains. Mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, anything you can think of, you understand, we're in bondage. You get my point? So if y'all could like and share the class, Barbara Kashad, and we're going to get started. If anybody has any questions, feel free to raise your hand, or you could, anybody online, anybody that's watching online, you can type your question in. Give me 1 second. Let me share this video real quick. And then we're going to go ahead and get it in, all right? Come on with it, officer.
So I had a question from the Tuesday class. Sister had asked me for a breakdown on the 7 horns of the dragon in Revelation. So can I get that breakdown, Baba Kashad?
Okay. Let me see if I have it in my notes. Hopefully I brought the notebook with that breakdown in it. If not, I will bring it next Thursday, Lord allow. But I want to say I got it in this notebook. So bear with me 1 second. If anybody else has any questions, if y'all can type them in. Y'all can type them in, or y'all can raise your hand. Give me one. Let me look through these notes real quick. Y'all bear with me. I'm trying to. The sister had a question about the seven horns in Revelations, right? Okay. Which is the seven powers, right? The governments. Let me see. I know I have it. I'm just not sure if it's in. Oh, let me see. Is this it? 34.
And if I may be more specific as well, she was asking about the 7th horn.
Okay.
That was what did it say in Revelation? That basically was like the 7th horn that was healing. She wanted to know exactly what that horn was.
Let me see. Okay, no, that's Daniel's. Let me see. Let me see. Son of God, 13. Okay, no, that's 13 and 2. Okay, that's the leopard. Okay, the bear. Okay, so that's not the 7 horns. Okay. Let me see. If I don't find it in the next couple minutes, cause like I don't want to take up too much time, cause I don't have it off. Oh, here it is, right here. The 7 kings. Let me see something. Oh no, this is Revelation, the 17th chapter. Let me see. 10. Okay, hold on. The 7 heads. Okay, no, the 7 heads. I'm gonna double check this later. Great whore who sits on many waters. That's America. 7 kings. The 7 heads are France, Spain, Portugal, Germany, England. The little horn uprooted 3 heads, which is Spain, England, and France. One of the horns is Rome. Revelation 13 and 12. That's the one she was asking about, right? That's the United States.
13 and 20.
13 and 12.
Oh, 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's the United States who resurrected the Roman Empire with white supremacy. Think about it. That's what Rome was built on, right?
Okay.
So what is the United States built on?
Wrong. All right.
White supremacy.
Thank you.
Right.
White supremacy.
Fine.
You get my point? So if you don't have it, I'll give it to y'all again. It's France, Spain, Portugal, Germany, England, Rome, and the United States.
Okay.
Good to go on that?
On that one, kind of.
Uh-huh.
And then there was another question.
Uh-huh.
The question was, why was Nehemiah allowed to kill the heathen, the heathen and the interracial marriages? Nehemiah got upset. In the story, Nehemiah had gotten upset. The sister didn't come with the book, verse, and chapter. But she was asking about the story. Why was Nehemiah allowed to go through and kill everybody that basically had interracial marriages? And that was it wasn't really counted towards it. That's what the question she had yesterday.
Okay, she didn't give no chapter and verse or anything. Okay, so she'd have to bring the chapter and verse so we can read it. But what I will say is Nehemiah was in charge. You get my point? And anytime we lost a battle, it's because we wasn't serving the Most High. You get my point?
Right.
And so one of the things that the Most High hates is interracial marriage. How do you know? That's where the flood come from.
Right.
From interracial marriage. You get my point? Nehemiah knew that. You understand? And Nehemiah didn't want us to fall the way we did then. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so Nehemiah knew as the man in charge. You know what I'm saying? This comes with the territory. You get my point? It's no different than King David having to go to war against Israel or other tribes.
Right.
You get my point? Why? To bring all 12 tribes together. You get what I'm saying? It's no different. Nehemiah was in charge, so that comes with it. You know what I mean? You got to remember the priests back then. If you broke the law, you got put to death.
Right.
So why would that be any different? You get my point? So I mean, one you know what I'm saying? The sister, if she's watching online, she can text me the chapter and verse, right? She can text me the chapter and verse, and then we can read it, or I'll read it beforehand, and then I'll bring it to class on Thursday, and we can do that as a pre-topic, you know what I mean, or something like that, or we can go into it, you know what I mean, before we go into the actual topic. We can do it like that.
Okay.
All right. Let me see. I don't see any questions online. Is anybody watching from YouTube?
Not checking.
There was no questions. Okay. What you got? What you got?
Yeah, I got one more question.
Come on with it.
So, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verses 9 through 10. My question is this like basically a reference to the Egyptians?
13. You said 9 and 10.
Kind of, sir.
Okay. Let's read it.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 9. For if they were able to know so much that they could aim at the world, how did they not sooner find out the Lord thereof? But miserable are they, and in dead things is their hope, who called them gods, which are the works of men's hands, gold and silver, to shew art in, and resemblance of beasts, or a stone good for nothing, the work of an ancient hand.
Okay. Let's start at 13 and 1. Let's get some context.
Okay. Verse 1. Surely vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of God.
Who are what?
Who are ignorant of God, and could not out of the good things that are seen known him that is. Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster. but deemed either fire or wind, or the swift air, or the circle of the stars, or the violent water, or the lights of heaven, to be the gods which govern the world.
Okay, you can stop right there, right? So when you read these first few verses, who does it sound like it's talking about? Officer.
I mean, it just sounds like pagans, period, in my opinion, because it's worship some sort of an element. You got astrologists as well mixed into there.
Who did that?
The Egyptians? I'm honestly not sure. It's a lie.
Okay. Who wants to give it a shot?
Was it the Greek or Romans?
No.
Okay.
You want to take a shot?
The verse just says all men.
But it's talking about. Damn, I can't even say that'd be a dead giveaway. Go ahead.
Is it referring to Israel?
Yes, because it's talking about us worshiping all these strange gods.
Okay.
You get my point? There's no chapter in here dedicated to the Egyptians or what they serve because it's irrelevant who and what they serve.
Right.
Who's supposed to know who the Most High is?
Israel.
You get my point? That's who's supposed to know who Israel is. I mean, that's who's supposed to know who the Most High is. That's who's not supposed to worship the wind and the sun and golden images and all that stupid shit. That's what they do. You get my point? So when you fast forward it to today, that's why we're going through the thing that we're going through today, because the same things that was happening then is happening today. You get my point? Now you got a name for it, whether it's Allah, whether it's Buddha, what's the one with the arms? Shiva, right? You get my point? It's the same thing. Who else? Right? We worship the dragon. For those who love Chinese culture and all that, we worship that dragon.
Right.
We worship the cross. Some idiots worship this and call it the Star of Molech.
Right.
You get my point? We worship everything but the one thing we should be worshiping, which is what?
The Most High.
The Most High. You get what I'm saying? So this is talking against us because all throughout the Bible, just like Captain Zariah was bringing out earlier, we've been hard-headed all throughout the scriptures.
Right.
We've loved other gods. We've loved other nations so much that we want to be just like them. You understand? And that's why tonight's class is so heavy. The title for tonight's class, the topic for tonight's class is the wisdom of Proverbs. And we're going over Proverbs, the first chapter, because it's some heavy ass game in Proverbs. You understand? Solomon is spitting mad game. All throughout the scriptures is game. You get my point? But it's something about the book of Proverbs, man, where it's like, nigga, this shit is ridiculous. You get my point? And the thing about it is what makes the Bible so perfect is that this Bible was written so long ago, but yet you can apply it to today.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You gotta think about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Our forefathers prophesied about these things a long time ago. You gotta think about it. It's been a minute since Solomon been here, right?
Right.
But yet his words still reign supreme to this day.
Right.
You get my point? And why is it that the words of Solomon or Ezekiel or Daniel reign supreme today? Why is that?
Because essentially, ain't nothing new under the sun. What was going on then is the same stuff that's going on now, and vice versa.
That's true, but why do their words reign supreme today? Why is it that they stand the test of time today? Thousands of years later, why is it that you can still use these scriptures as a guideline as to how we're supposed to live our lives? Why? It's one answer that I'm looking for. One answer, officer.
It's the truth. It's fact.
Bring me home. You're right. I'm looking for something specific, though. You said it's the truth. You said it's facts, but what proof do you have? Like, how would you sum all that up? Bring me home. You're right.
It's in our records.
That's true, but bring me home, though.
We're going through it today.
That's true. You was more on it when you said that it's facts. It's the truth. What makes it the truth? What makes these brothers 100? What makes these brothers certified?
Are they Israelites? Was they men of God?
bring me home. With the last part, bring me home.
Because the men of God wrote it?
That's what I wanted you to say. These brothers didn't just wing this shit. You understand? These are the words of the Most High that he uses prophets to go out and prophesy. You get my point? And there was scribes that wrote these things down and wrote these records down for us, for our learning. You get my point? The reason why you know that, the reason why these words reign supreme is because they were inspired by the Most High. These words came from the Most High. This is why these words still stand, and that's why a book like what's that Muslim shit they read from? The Quran. That's why the Quran is toilet paper. I wouldn't even use to wipe my ass with, to be honest with you.
Right.
You understand? I'll probably use the Kindle of Fire on the Sabbath. Right. You understand? Ooh, fake Israelite. Well, I might have struck a nerve with that one up. Kindle of Fire on the Sabbath, boy, with that Quran. You get my point? But that's what's good for. Or you know what? When I'm frying some chicken, I can rip the pages out and put it up under my basket so the grease don't leak onto my counters. Right. So I ain't gotta wipe my counters off. I can just use pages from the Quran. You understand? When I'm making some fries, or you know what I mean? I don't want to get too far into a food topic because they gonna get hungry. They ain't ate in a minute. You understand? So we're gonna leave that there. You understand? Moving right along, right? The point of the matter is that's what the Quran is good for. You get what I'm saying? That's what the book of Enoch. What's the other one that they like? Fake Israelites like? They like the book of Enoch. What's the other one that they love? The book. You get my point? All these dumbass books none of them mean nothing. You want to know why? Because they didn't come from the Most High.
Right.
Even books that we study from, like from Babylon to Timbuktu, Black Indians and stuff like that, there's some facts in it, but it ain't 100. Why? Because some of these writers are out there for their own agenda.
Right.
So will they hit you with some real shit? Yeah, they will. But then you some of it might go a little bit to the left. Why? Because they're not doing it, you know what I'm saying, with the inspiration of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? It was a cash grab for them. You get my point? And so us, with our wisdom, we have to be able to read it and authenticate it how? How do we authenticate those books?
Precept upon precept, so like we compare them with our record.
That's exactly it. That's how you know if there's some stuff that's in Black Indians. That's how you're able to verify, for lack of better words, or fact check. Go to the Bible. You get my point? And that's how you would do it. If you want to know if something is 100 that somebody didn't wrote, you know what I'm saying? You would put it with the Bible. That's why you'll hear us say, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, is it good to read those books? Yeah, it is good to read those books. But to base your whole life and hang your whole life on those books versus hanging your whole life on this right here is a mistake. You get my point? You're just using it for more backup, but you really don't need it because all your backup is right here in our records.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So that's it on that, right? Any other questions? None online, none in the room, none on YouTube either. All right, for sure. Let's get Proverbs the first chapter, man. I love this class right here, man. The book of Proverbs, like I said, the book of Proverbs is super, 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 super heavy, man. I mean, you want to soak up some. I mean, again, it's not to try to make light of any other book. You know what I mean? Y'all know that already. That's not the intent. The point is just like this chapter right here, man. This chapter stands out to me. You know what I mean? That's one of them books where it's like you can read this book over and over and over again, and you'll find something new in this chapter that we're reading. Or if you read Proverbs the third chapter, because I've done a class on that. I might do that in a couple weeks down the line, Lord allow, or unless something else come up. But the point is, you'll read something, and then something to be going on, and it's like perfect match. Right. You get my point? And so when we read Proverbs, the first chapter, you understand, you'll see some of that, right? So let's start. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 1. Let's start at verse 1. Time allowed, we're gonna read the whole chapter.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 1. Mm-hmm. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel.
King of what?
King of Israel.
King of Israel, right? So what is that telling you off top?
That the Most High had ordained King Solomon to rule over Israel.
That's true. But what else though?
King of Israel.
What else?
That these words are important.
That's true too. What else?
that the words that he's about to speak, write down, that we're about to read, are all true.
That's true too.
Will essentially come to pass.
That's true too. What is Solomon? What was Solomon, other than being king of Israel? What else would Solomon be known as?
The wisest man to ever live.
That's true. What else is he?
Christ.
That's true too. So if he's Christ, what does that mean? He's a what?
He's a reincarnation or regeneration.
Yes, but no.
Prophet.
Yes, but no. He's a yes, that's true. He's the son of David. But if he's the son of David, that makes him a what?
An Israelite?
He's an Israelite. So if he's an Israelite, this is for
Israel.
It's for Israel.
You
understand? It's saying the king of Israel. So it's letting you know that this is for Israel.
Right.
You get my point? That's what you were supposed to do. Just that off top. He's talking to Israel. It's not talking to everybody else. Because if it was, you know what I'm saying? Why would he? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is he giving name? Like, because it's being specific. Like, this is our people talking to our people.
Right.
This ain't for everybody.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That's what you should. That's what you should take from that, right? Anybody know what proverb is by definition? Officer.
Wisdom.
Yes. Right. You can look at it as wisdom. You can also, when I looked it up, it's like when I looked it up, I didn't write the whole definition down, but to sum it up, it says stating a general truth or a piece of advice. So, as we read through this chapter, you'll understand why that definition is so important. Because the game, it says general truth or a piece of advice, which means what? It's game in here.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That's how you sum all up, man. Listen, man, this brother dropping some jewels in his book, man. The shit he's dropping is heavy. You get my point? Keep reading.
To know wisdom and instruction.
To do what?
To know wisdom and instruction. To perceive the words of understanding. To receive the instruction of wisdom.
To receive what?
To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity.
And equity, right? What is equity? What does that mean? What is equity? First of all, let's break that whole scripture down before we even get to equity. What's happening here? What is Solomon? What is King Solomon telling us right here in verse 3, officer?
That basically right, he's about to start giving us, advice to be able to receive instruction, receive instruction of wisdom, also justice and judgment, equity. So basically, how to take all that in, so that way you can apply it.
Absolutely, right? So that's why the definition of equity is important, right? Because when you look up equity, it'll sum up the justice and the judgment, right? So I'm gonna give it to y'all, right? Equity is being fair and impartial. You understand? Being fair and impartial. Why is that important? Because when you read verse 3 again, it says to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, right? So this is going to teach you how to be fair and impartial when it comes to what?
When it comes to justice, judgment, and wisdom. When it comes to justice and judgment.
You get my point? That's it. So it's telling you, you know what I'm saying, to be fair and impartial. Meaning what? You can't be a respecter of persons.
Right.
In other words, man, that's my nigga, man. I know he fucked up, man, but that's my man's. Nah. That's not using equity. You get my point? Or by saying, oh man, he's selling dope. But at least he ain't molested nobody. That's not equity. Nigga, you break one, you break them all.
Right.
You get my point? So the judgment should be fair and impartial, whether he got money or whether he don't got money. You understand? Whether she, you know what I'm saying, got titties way out here, or she walk around with a chest like a little teenage boy. It shouldn't matter. You get what I'm saying? It's like, the bottom line is to be fair and impartial, man. Right? So that man, moving right along, right? Let's go back to verse 2 real quick. I forgot to mention something in verse 2, right? Let's read verse 2 again.
Come on. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding.
What is an example of knowing wisdom and instruction?
The law, statutes, and commandments. It's the wisdom of the Most High giving us the, instruct us on how to live amongst each other and also amongst the other nations.
Right. You get what I'm saying? That's exactly it. You know what I mean? Like, to be more specific, like the wisdom and instruction to perceive the words of understanding, right? To understand that getting a shape up is unlawful.
Right.
You get my point? To have the understanding that a woman, you know what I'm saying, when she has her issue, she's unclean for 7 days. You get my point? Not to try to deal with her when you know she got that going on. You get my point? That's the wisdom. You get my point? That's how germs and bacteria and all kind of other shit, you know what I'm saying, get spread. You get my point? When you go through the dietary laws, you get what I'm saying? That's how you know not to eat pork. That's how you know that it's okay to eat lamb. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Things like that. Those are the examples you understand that you can use, right? Let's go to verse 4.
To give subtlety to the simple.
To do what?
To give
subtlety.
Subtlety to the simple.
To give subtlety to the simple.
To the young man, knowledge and discretion.
Two things there, right? What is subtlety?
It's kind of like being low key, or like not necessarily in the shadows, but being under the radar, basically.
No. Not yet.
Is it like being give substance or like meaning or like importance or like how can I say like making them like more sharp, like sharpening them.
You're on it. You're on it. You want to take a shot?
Does it mean to deal with the simple person in a wise fashion?
You're more on it, right? You're more on it. Like, subtlety is like to be crafty. You get what I'm saying? To be skillful. You get what I'm saying? To be cunning.
Right.
Not cunning like Esau. Not cunning like him. But just to know, like the sister said, just knowing how to deal with brothers, knowing how to deal with sisters, right? And then it says discretion, right? Discretion is what you described. You know what I mean? Being low key. You get what I'm saying? Just flying under the radar. You get what I'm saying? Handling your business in a way to where everybody don't have to know what it is that you're doing. That's what it means to be discreet. You get my point? So, if you stop at the gas station, right? This is on a smaller scale. But if you stop at the gas station, right, and a brother say, "Hey man, I'll clean your windows for $1," you know what I mean? You say, "Man, you ain't got to clean my windows. Here's $1." Right? Matter of fact, here go $5. You know what I mean? And then you make a post. Oh man, shit! Just seen this brother at the gas station, man. Brother try to clean my windows, man. I just he asked for $1, man. I gave him $5. What's discreet about that? You get my point? This discretion ain't talking about download brothers. You know what I mean? I know that's what these fags think when they read that. Like, see, I knew it was okay to be on the DL. I knew that was cool. That's not what the hell this is talking about. You get my point?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sneaking out of your next door neighbor's window because you know what I'm saying, was sleeping with his wife while he was out of town. That's not the discretion that this is talking about. It's talking about, you know what I'm saying, the works that you do. You know what I mean, be discreet about it is what it's saying. You get my point? We don't go out and advertise everything that we do. You know what I mean? Do we go out and advertise some things? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because there's such a negative picture painted about the UPK, you know what I mean, that we have to debunk the notion that, you know, all we teach is hate. You know what I mean? From the other nations to our women to our kids, we hate everybody except the brothers in the school. They're the only people we give a damn about. You get my point? So every now and then, you know what I mean, we'll go live when we're doing a food drive or when we're giving away clothes and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? Why? To let the four corners know that the ISUPK is a safe haven. You understand? Come on with it.
If I may, sir, just to carry out what you were saying about when we actually go live when they're doing the food drive, pay attention. You know, discretion is being used with that as well. You don't see them handing a box to a brother or to a sister. You know, like they just let you know. They basically go live saying, okay, you know, this is what we're doing for those, you know, for the Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. Come get you a box if you need one.
Right.
It's not you know, let's watch their reaction as I give them the box. You know, basically like how everybody else does at the gas station. Right. As you were saying with that brother who was asking for $1, you gave him $5. You
see what I'm saying? Nah, that's 100, and that's the thing. We're going to allow to let you know where we are and what time we're going to be there.
Right.
You understand? If you on the chart, you know what I'm saying? Come holler at us. You know what I'm saying? And then the cold part about it is, you know what I'm saying? Because of the spirit that we're in, you know what I mean? If a heathen is in line, you know what I'm saying? They can get a little something too. You know what I mean? Now we're not gonna let them jump the line.
Right.
You know what I mean? They'll have to stand in line. You know what I mean? But you know, we don't go and say, oh man, look what we did for that's not discretion. You get my point? Keep reading.
A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel.
Man, what does that mean? That's heavy as hell, man. When you read that, it sounds like, oh yeah, that's cool. But when you really read it and pay attention to what it's saying, man, that shit is heavy. Read it again, please.
A wise man will hear and will increase learning.
And will do what?
Increase learning. And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel.
Break that down.
So, so a wise man, when he hears, like, he's gonna hear everything that you know can be taught to him, basically. You know, and he's gonna retain that information so that basically, you know, his knowledge is always increasing. And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. You know, that's basically that same wise man from all those, you know, those lessons that he's listened to. And he increased his learning. Now he's able to be a part of those wise counsels, so to speak, because now he's got all that knowledge. He's able to, you know, apply that knowledge and wisdom to, you know, basically go back, when you go back to verse 3, you know, have that, you know, that the correct mind for justice and judgment. Right.
No, that's 100. And also when it says, shall attain unto wise counsel, meaning what? He'll take heed to the counsel.
Okay.
You get my point? When you call it, when you call a brother and say, hey, Sluggy, sir, you got a few minutes, I could really use some counsel. Yeah, come on with it. Like, what's happening? Right? Get a brother the rundown. He gives you the rundown, and you take that, and then you apply it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That's attaining wise counsel. You get my point? Everybody in this room, everybody that's watching this tape has picked up the phone and had to call somebody for counsel. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of times, shit, I know every time I've had to pick up the phone and get some counsel, I know every time I hung up the phone, you understand, I was wiser than I was before I picked up that phone.
Right.
And I'm grateful to all the men above me who's taking the time out, you understand, to you know what I'm saying, share that wise counsel. You know what I mean? Because that wise counsel, you know what I'm saying, gives me the ability through the Spirit of the Most High in Christ to attain it and then pass it down. You know what I mean? And then the men that come after me, they'll attain it and then they'll pass it down and it'll go on and on and on. And through that, we'll get the kingdom. You understand? Keep reading.
Okay. Verse 6. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings.
To understand a proverb and the interpretation, right? Meaning what?
To understand, you know, the little bits and pieces of advice. I can't remember the definition you read exactly. To understand the bits and pieces of advice and how to interpret it.
Right.
Because, you know, I might not just tell you straight, you know, I might say, you know, just simply, you know, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, but you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a whole lifetime. Like you can, you know, actually know how to understand what that means.
Right.
Not just about
right.
fishing.
To hear the game and be able to break it down.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It said the words of the wise right? The words of the wise, the men above us, right? And the men before us in these records, right? It's like, what is the dark sayings? What is that? Somebody give me an example of a dark saying. So that dark saying, man, is pretty heavy. I mean, when I learned what that dark saying was, I'm like, damn, like that's heavy, man. You know what I mean? The understanding of that dark saying is important. You know what I mean, officer?
Is the dark sayings like where somebody might be saying something to you, like correcting you, and it's not necessarily in light. Like it's like, yo, you messed up because this is all the wrong things that you did, but they give it to you in a way that for you to reflect on it. So it's not necessarily using your name in light. Like you understand what I'm saying?
I do that. Not quite right. A dark saying would be something that would be harsh to someone that's in the world.
Okay.
Meaning what? Like I believe it's in Proverbs where the scriptures say that a whore is a deep ditch.
Right.
You get my point? Like that's a dark saying. You know what I mean? To say something like, you know what I'm saying, faggots will burn. You know what I mean? For being faggots. You know what I'm saying? That's a dark saying. You get my point? Anything that's not, flowers and candy. Yeah, like you know what I mean? But it's still, it don't make it less real, but it would be considered a dark saying. You get my point? But they come out of this book though. You know what I'm saying? When the scriptures talk about a woman being clamorous and being simple and knoweth nothing, right? Think about that. When you hear that, it's like, look, this nigga talking to, right? That's how a simple female, because automatically her thought is to get defensive, right? Which goes to show you her what? Simple. Exactly. You get my point? So to her, that's a dark saying. You understand? To us, it's the truth. Because we're pulling out the same book that she believes that she knows frontwards and backwards, that her pastor breaks down to her every Sunday, right? Come on with it.
So like you say, like on that topic, like when the Bible tells a woman to be quiet and shut their mouth and stuff like that, they look at that and they don't understand it,
right? Because
like you said, it's considered a dark saying. They wouldn't take it as the same wisdom as if someone says, what's some wisdom that they would probably give you? I can't think right now, but something positive.
Yeah.
They would say, like, you know what I mean? Like, but if you tell them something like that, like shut your mouth or something,
right?
I think it's personal, like you just,
right? You
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Trying to belittle them,
right?
Or make them less of a person,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right. No. That's a good example, and that's the thing, right? But dark sayings, or the word dark sayings is, you know what I'm saying? This ain't the only place where you'll see it at, right? Let me get Psalms 49:4 real quick. We're gonna go back to Proverbs, but let's get Psalms 49:4 real quick. This is a precept for Proverbs 1:6. It's Psalms 49:4.
Okay. Book of Psalms, chapter 49, verse 4. I will incline my ear to a parable. I will open my dark saying
my what?
Upon the heart. I will open my dark saying upon the heart.
I will open my dark saying upon the heart, right? Meaning what? He'll put them dark sayings in a what?
In a song.
That's it. Because the harp is a guitar, right? And we all know King David was a hell of a musician, right? So you look at it on. I don't even want to go there. I was on the left hand side. Some of the shit that these cats be talking about in their music. You get my point? Yeah. But those, I wouldn't call those dark sayings because they're actually promoting the bullshit that they're talking about. You get my point? So I won't go there. King David, on the other hand, like he'll put these dark sayings in the song. You get what I'm saying? So he'll say something heavy that we might not want to hear, but we what? We need to hear it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Come on with it.
So I was gonna say, so a dark saying pretty much is like you said, something it's supposed to give you the same wisdom or insight as something coming like more positive, like a positive approach, but it's just said in a way that's not pleasing to you.
There you go. You get what I'm saying? Like for example, like when the scripture, when Paul said, I may be rude in speech, but not in knowledge.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? You might not like the way I'm saying it, so to you it's a dark saying, right, but I'm actually lacing you. Right. You just don't like what I'm saying or how I'm saying it, right, but it don't make it any less true. You get what I'm saying? Come on with it.
So whenever we say that this book only belongs to the Israelites, and it's not for everybody else, that's considered a dark.
That's actually an excellent example of a dark saying. When we at camp and we saying, if you're not Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, or Native American, if you're not Black, Hispanic, or Native American, keep walking. We ain't talking to you. You get what I'm saying? Like to them, because you gotta remember, you know what I'm saying? According to the world, God loves everybody. You understand? And we can't do, you know what I'm saying? Like we can be a part of y'all. You get what I'm saying? And so when they hear that, it's like so disrespectful in their mind. Like I can't believe he just said that. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a perfect example. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
It's the what?
Is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and instruction.
But who?
But fools despise wisdom and instruction.
But fools despise wisdom and instruction. Let's get Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10, and then we're going to go back and break that down. All right? Let's get that real quick.
9 and 10? The book of Proverbs, chapter 9, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Why did I have you pull that? Come on with it.
Because fools despise wisdom.
Not just that, but read it again.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
So I'm asking again, why did I have you pull that?
Because it's synonymous, because fearing the Lord gives you knowledge and wisdom.
That's true, but why else?
Because when you begin to fear the Lord, you begin receiving the instruction, which it's like
that's true, but why else? Also,
is it a dark saying?
No. Since you had your hand up, let me give it to y'all because it sounds just like Proverbs 1 and 7. That's why I had you read it right after, because it sounds just like Proverbs 1 and 7. Yeah, I remember precept upon precept. Right. You know what I mean? We just connecting the dots. You get what I'm saying? So that's what we just did, right? So let's go back to Proverbs 1 and 7, right? Where it says, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Who are the fools? Who would be considered a fool today?
A fool would be the people that ignore, I say camp, possibly. Like say we at camp and we preaching to our people. Yeah. And they hear the words of God and they still try to come against us.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's very true.
Or Israelites in general.
That's true too. But bring me home though. You're right. More than I'm gonna say it anyway. More than anybody else though. Who are the fools?
The heathens?
You was more on it with your first answer.
Fake Israelites?
Now you own it.
The Christian church?
There you go. Any of those apply. Why did I say them more than somebody just walking down the street?
Because they pretty much have the capability. They're using the same book that we're using, and they're teaching it in a way where it's not. You know what I'm saying? They're teaching it improperly. They're not
exactly
to actually get the knowledge out of it.
You see what I'm saying? That's why they would be considered more fool, because they claim they read, study, and understand this very same book. Right. You know what I mean? These pastors, think about it. Think about our pastor, our so-called pastor. Think about it, man. Think about the things that they teach. And these dudes are supposed to be considered men of God. Right. You see what I'm saying? How is that possible? When same-sex marriage is okay. Right. When abortion is okay. You get my point? Right. When interracial marriage is okay. according to y'all, right? It says, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. This is really not you know what I'm saying? The example that you gave was 100. The reason why this is why I would lean more towards the pastors, the fake Israelites, and our so-called leaders is because they despise wisdom and instruction. Why? Because they don't want to give up their seat.
Right.
They don't want to hear the truth according to this Bible, because if they hear the truth according to this Bible, they have to do what? All right, take care of that, Baba Kashaw. Chase, go with him, please. Why is it that the Christian pastor, the fake Israelites, despise wisdom and instruction? Because again, they have to stop what they was doing. If you set a pastor down and you broke down these scriptures in its proper form, they'd be convicted in their spirit to stop what it is that they're doing. But because they don't want to stop what they're doing, they despise it. They hate wisdom and instruction. You get what I'm saying? Because the wisdom and instruction will be like, damn, they stand up there and they teach on Sunday, you know what I mean? Knowing that what they're doing is wrong. You get my point? Knowing that the things that they're saying is wrong. And knowing that they're teaching men and women to do wrong. So they despise wisdom and instruction. You get my point? Because if you instruct them to do the right thing, what's gonna happen? It's gonna piss them off. You get what I'm saying? Because you're gonna lead the flock away.
Right.
And I say this all the time. When it comes to a Christian pastor, if you lead the flock away, what goes away with the flock?
It's money.
The money. You see what I'm saying? So that's the last thing they want is wisdom and instruction. You get what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Okay. Verse 8. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother.
You understand? That's twofold right there. Right? Read it again. And then y'all tell me why it's twofold. Read it again.
My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother.
Okay. Why is this twofold? Meaning that it applies on multiple levels. When I say twofold. It says, hear the instruction of thy father. Who's the father? Why is that part twofold?
Hear the instruction of the Most High and your earthly father.
Right.
Because it's supposed to be the same.
Right. And then forsake not the law of thy mother. What is the law of thy mother?
Is the mother supposed to be a metaphor for Israel?
It is a metaphor, but not for Israel. Well, I mean it is, but not what is. That's not the answer I'm looking for.
So on one section of the mother, because she is the one who teaches the babies, she's the teacher of the house of the 10 Commandments and everything like that, raising the child in the way that you love.
Yes.
In one part.
That's true.
And then the Holy Spirit being the other.
The first part is correct. What is the law of thy mother? How do you sum up the law?
Like just the law?
How do you sum up the law? Once you learn the law and you start to follow the law, you are what?
You're upright and righteous?
That's true. Not what I'm looking for, though.
You're obeying.
That's true, but not what I'm looking for. The law of thy mother is the one word.
Wisdom?
No. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Kind of, okay.
You know what I'm saying? How many times does the Most High reference the truth as a wife or as a mother? You get my point? It's the truth. The law is the truth. Learning the law and keeping the law is the truth. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to Christianity or Egyptology or name anything else. You get my point? You gotta remember even Christ, you know what I'm saying, compared us to the bride, and he was the bridegroom. You get my point? So there are times when it's using woman as a metaphor, but it doesn't mean like an actual woman. But the reason why I said twofold is because when you're born into the truth, your father and your mother will give you wisdom and instruction according to the truth. You know what I'm saying? The law is the truth. You get what I'm saying? That's giving you the truth. The law is giving you the truth.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Anything outside the law can't be the truth. You know what I'm saying? Telling you that it's okay to celebrate Christmas, that's not the truth. You get my point? So if they're giving you the law, they're giving you the truth. So when you said wisdom, that's true. Knowledge, understanding, all those things are true. But you sum it all up by saying when you're given the law, you're given the truth. Keep reading.
Okay.
Wait, so like before that, let me get Proverbs 6:21 real quick, so we can drive home the point.
Okay. The book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 21.
Wait, is it 21? Let me see. No, 20. So like 20. Actually, it's 20 and 21. So like. Watch this.
Verse 20. My son, keep thy father's commandment.
Do what?
Keep thy father's commandment. And forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thine heart. And tie them about thy neck.
Why is that so heavy though? It says, bind them continually upon thine heart. Bind what?
Bind the law and the instruction of the Most High together, so that basically it's one.
Right. Bind them upon thy heart. We all know it's not talking about your actual heart, it's talking about your mind, right?
Right.
The sister answered right earlier when she said the truth. That was correct. But the thing about it is, when you bind it in your mind, everywhere you go, you're going to want to do something. And because you binded it in your heart, you're not going to do it. You know what I mean? You're going to drive by, man, and you're going to see a dispensary on damn near every corner. And you're going to want to stop at that dispensary because your card hasn't expired yet. You get my point? And there's going to be a big-ass billboard in the front of the damn dispensary. Buy 8, get 2 8s for free. You know what I mean? And if you smoke weed, nigga, your eyes gonna be this goddamn big. You're gonna damn near cause an accident because you're gonna hit the brakes so damn hard, like, oh shit. You get what I'm saying? But to us, you know what I mean? We're gonna keep it pushing. Why? Because we bind the laws in our hearts. You get what I'm saying? So we'll drive by and, you know what I'm saying, Joe's Crab Shack nigga might be booming that night. You know what I'm saying? Buy 1 plate, get 1 plate free. You know what I mean? You think, man, I'm trying to impress some trifling ass whore. I'll take it over here. You get my point? But because the law is binded in thy heart, fuck that bitch and Joe's Crab Shack. You know what I mean? Right. Fucking gonna go get a Whopper around this motherfucker. Right. You understand? I'd probably get some extra cheese on it for or something, but we ain't going to the Crab Shack. Let her supersize her fries around them with something. 3-pack of cookies. You understand? But we won't be going to the Crab Shack. You get my point? Right. You wanted to add something?
Yeah, so like if I may. You know, what you're saying is heavy because it's binding in our hearts because, like, we want to, like, we like, with us being prophets of the Lord, right? We, you know, just like any man, right? You know what I'm saying? Want to sleep with, you know, the baddest thing on the block.
Excellent example.
Or whatnot, right? But we don't do that because we know they're whores.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they can get us caught up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, but for the most part, what you're saying is heavy because, like, we just drive past that and be like, nah, man, they ain't good for us.
Nah, you know that's 100. And that's why this chapter that we read is so heavy because it's giving us the knowledge and the instruction so that when we see something or somebody, despite how good it looked to the eyes, because we have this implanted in our hearts, you know what I'm saying? We won't fall weak up under it. You understand? Instead, we'll stand strong and take heed to the wise counsels. You get my point? Come on with it.
Yeah. So what you're saying is definitely you know, solid because it's on the lines of just being tempted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You seeing people in the world when they get tempted, they give into those.
Absolutely.
Because they don't have the law statutes.
Right.
Binded to their mind.
Right.
Like what you're saying. So when we get tempted, like you said, we're able to put that, have these words stuck in our head. You know,
right.
You know how like your your parents will tell you something, and then you actually go through it, and you be like, I hear my mama telling me,
man,
in the back of my head,
100.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Be doing that.
yeah.
When messing with them people up the street,
yeah,
and then you got yourself in trouble.
Exactly.
Like, damn, I should listen
exactly
to my mama's voice when she was telling me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But instead, we the people that we do listen to that voice. That's telling you like, oh man, let me check and see what's in that food. That got pork in it.
Right.
What type of meat is this?
Exactly.
So now you asking questions
that you normally wouldn't ask.
Exactly.
Right.
Or like you said, a woman, you asking her like, you know, if you meet a woman or whatever, you asking her, when the last time you had sex? You know what I'm saying? This, you know, you asking questions that you may not have asked without that information
100
being without the laws being binded in your head. You thinking differently. You looking, you analyzing stuff.
Right. Nah, that's 100. I'm about to put y'all to the test. What you just said right now, that question that you said that you would ask, right? What would that be considered?
Courting?
No.
Well, I mean, all right.
Anybody online that was paying attention to the class earlier, that question that the brother asked, right? What would that be considered?
Wisdom.
No. Yes, but no. Not what I'm looking for.
Was it a dark side?
Get our sister a hand, man. You know how offensive it is to ask a sister when the last time she had sex?
Right.
You don't think she's going to be offended by that?
Right.
And the reason why she's going to be offended by that because she don't want to tell you this morning.
Right.
Or 30 minutes ago.
Right.
In some cases, unfortunately.
Right.
You get my point. You might not want to get too close. You might smell a rod on her breath. It's a lot.
Right.
You're right. So like, you're right. That's right. You're right. That is strike two. YouTube, Facebook, to lock it. Restream, to lock it. You know, as a matter of fact, moving right along. Let's just keep reading, man, if I get in some trouble. Let's go, man. Where we at? Verse 9? Let's go, man. Oof, good night.
Verse 9. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck.
Read it again.
For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck.
What is the they shall be an ornament?
The laws.
Exactly.
The laws and commandments.
Right? You get what I'm saying? And it said, why is it saying it should be grace upon unto thy head and chains about thy neck?
It's saying that basically saying like you're gonna be able to have a clear conscience. Like you're not gonna be stressed. You're not gonna be stressed about whatever you're going through or whatever temptation coming your way.
Right.
You're gonna be able to confidently resist it because you're doing the right thing.
Right.
And it's gonna take the chains off your neck of feeling restrained, like you know what I'm saying, like something's weighing you down or holding you back.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
You're missing out on something. That's bad for you.
Nah,
I ain't gotta like Christmas for example.
Right.
The fact that you ain't buying your kids no Christmas gifts. Some people, that's a goddamn weight on their or chain.
Man, nah, 100.
They sitting there rocking their head trying to figure out how I'm gonna come up with this Christmas gift. But for us, because we don't celebrate Christmas, we know that that's grace upon our head. We know that that's not. We don't have to worry about that.
Right, and in that grace, you'll have peace of mind, like you said. Right? You want to add something?
I was gonna say something that we can wear that everybody will just simply see.
That's 100. Absolutely, because think about it. Think about us as Negroes, not the sedity uppity ones. I'm talking about like niggas. Imagine a nigga with a crown and some gold around his neck. What is that gonna do? What is he gonna be doing?
Like he's gonna be shining.
That's the word I was looking for. He gonna be shining, right? That's how we look to the drug dealers. That's how we look to the strippers and the whores. We shining. You get my point? Because we live these laws, statutes, and commandments. We walk these laws, statutes, and commandments. And so because we walk these laws, statutes, and commandments, everything about us shines. We don't look like everybody else. We don't sound like everybody else. We don't do what everybody else is doing. You get my point? So everywhere we go, nigga, we ghetto gold. You know what I'm saying? The quote, Captain Kwame is the first brother I heard say that. Nigga, we ghetto gold. Think about it, nigga. We all in these streets, nigga, shining.
Right.
You get my point? Everywhere we go, like, we did a flyer campaign.
Right.
Was niggas not looking at us trying to figure out what we is on and what we is about? Why? Because everything about us stands out. You know what I mean? They see this brother in all black. They see this brother with war bands, fringes, Hebrew Academy cover. What the hell is going on? What the hell is they about? That's why I want us to say, are y'all over here to protect the neighborhood? You goddamn right. You get what I'm saying? Because we in us, we stand out like that. So that's the first thing that went through her mind. And that's exactly what the mindset should be. Unlike the languishing gates in Jeremiah 14:2, these gates don't languish.
Right.
You understand? So when they see us, they supposed to see like, man, these dudes, there's something different about these dudes. Ain't nothing soft about these cats right here. You know what I'm saying? These brothers is willing to say dark sayings. You get my point? These brothers is willing to say the things and do the things that's necessary to wake up the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? So when it's talking about that crown, when it's talking about that, when it says an ornament of grace, that grace is exactly how you summed it up. Because for those who went through the whole Christmas and New Year's thing for the very first time, man, think about the peace of mind that you had not trying to figure out where you're going to come up with the money to buy all these goddamn gifts. And where you're going to get the money from to buy the food for all these hungry-ass, greedy-ass niggas that's going to fall through your house that you only see around this time of year because they know don't nobody smoke a ham like you.
Right.
You get my point? Now you ain't got to deal with none of that. No tree, which means no mess. You get my point? No goddamn wreaths. You get my point? No traffic coming in and out the house because like you ain't celebrating Christmas. I ain't coming over. Good. That means my refrigerator will stay full. And if y'all know me, y'all know I love a full refrigerator. You understand? It's just what I mean, hey man, it's just what it is. You get my point? So the less niggas in my house, the less niggas I gotta worry about going through my refrigerator. Drinking all the beer, drinking all the Kool-Aid, eating all the chicken wings. You understand? On and on and on and on and on. Eating all the cereal and shit. You get my point? The point is though, it's grace unto thy head. It's a peace of mind. You understand? And I'm gonna tell y'all something. You cannot put a price tag on a peace of mind. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I cannot emphasize that enough. Like, what's coming up? It's a few weeks from now, but what's around the corner?
Valentine's Day.
Nigga. You want to talk about grace upon thy head? Don't do Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? If you got a righteous one, you know what I'm saying? That grace is gonna increase. Cause she gonna know what you want and she gonna respect the game. You get my point? Now, if you some weak ass nigga out here, you some suck ass nigga, you will be on the corner buying one of them $50 bears that you can get on Amazon for $7.99.
Right.
You understand? And you will buy one of them cards that she gonna put in the back of the closet, which she'll eventually lose because that wasn't the first one that she got anyway. You understand? You know what? No. Let's just keep going. Cause yeah. We're going okay. Moving right along. Let me get Ecclesiastes 1:11. This is the precept for Proverbs 1:9. Let's get Ecclesiastes real quick. Let's get Ecclesiastes 1 and then read 11 for me. 11 and 12.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 1, verse 11. The fear of the Lord is honor.
It's what?
It's honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing.
And a what?
And a crown of rejoicing.
Get my point. Keep reading.
Verse 12. The fear of the Lord maketh a merry heart.
It does what?
Maketh a merry heart and give you joy and gladness in long life and a long life.
And a long life, right? Why did I have you? Why did we pull those scriptures? Because it goes hand in hand with what we just read. You know why? You know why you'll live a longer life? Because you won't be stressing over that Thanksgiving meal. You won't be stressing over Valentine's Day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You won't have those stresses. of birthdays and Christmas and, you know what I'm saying, Halloween, you don't have those stresses no more. You get what I'm saying? So in the midst of that, right, in having that honor in serving the Lord, you'll live a longer life, not because you don't have the stresses of these so-called holidays, but you'll be eating right.
Right.
So because you're eating right, you won't have them pork headaches.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You won't have a high dosage of salt because you're not eating all those with shrimp, crab, and lobster, all those things that's high in salt, which they won't tell you, by the way.
Right.
You get my point? They won't tell you nothing. They'll just say that's the other white meat and that is a, how you say, delicatessen, right? Delicacy. Yeah, you get my point? They'll tell you that part, but they won't tell you about all the bad things about it. You get what I'm saying? But in serving the Lord, it's like a crown, man. It's like, man, like the burden that's lifted off of your shoulders, man. You know what I mean? Not only that though. Not only are those things a burden that's no longer on your shoulders, right? Think about all the dead weight that you get to take off your shoulders. Who's the dead weight?
All your so-called friends and family,
man,
like you doing the Christian way of life.
You get my point? Think about it, man. Think about all the dead weight that you're gonna drop. You know what I mean? If I were to use a female as an example, right? Think about all the dead skin that they're gonna shave off the bottom of their feet. Okay. No. Okay. Now I'm not even gonna get started. Okay. Nah. Let's just keep going, man. Cause that right there in itself would no. Let's go back to Proverbs. Salaki. Man, cause I'm No. Let's go. Give me Proverbs 1 and 10, please.
God. Verse 10.
Uh-huh.
My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not.
Okay. These next few verses that we about to get into, man, pay attention to what's the game that's being laced, the game that's being dropped in these scriptures. Read 10 again.
God. My son,
Uh-huh.
if sinners entice thee,
Uh-huh.
consent thou not.
Give me an example of, first of all, what does it mean when it says, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not? Break that down and then give me an example. Give it to me.
Be enticed. Like a sinner comes up to you and asks you if you want to, you want to roll up. You want to get high.
Uh-huh.
And that's kind of my example.
Yes. That's a good one. Another one is when you're walking down Vegas Boulevard. I spoke on this a few weeks ago, right? And they passing out them cards, right? With the price on it, the price and the phone number.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That's a sinner enticing you. That driving billboard on the strip. You know what I'm saying? Telling you about the strip club or telling you about call this number if you want to have a good time. You get my point? Those are sinners enticing thee. You get my point? Yeah. No, give me one.
I was gonna say one of Little Caesars promoting that pork pizza, that $5 special or that bacon. It seems like salami on the side.
Man, give it to me.
All the commercials that I see for
Bruh.
fast food, everything got pork in it. Everything
Right.
got a normal. They don't promote their stuff without pork. They
Right.
promote all the stuff that got pork.
You
on
see
it.
what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
And what's so heavy about what you said, right? There's two things that you're gonna see on TV right now more than anything else. One was pork in everything. What's the other thing? Actually, there's three. Pork is one. What's the other one?
Pork, interracial marriage.
That's two.
Homosexuality.
That's three. Get a brother a hand. That's it. Think about it. Every time you turn on TV, every time something go to commercial break, you're gonna see some fags. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see something about some pork, right? And you're gonna see somebody interracial marriage all the time. Why? Because those are sinners trying to entice us. You get my point? That's why I said when you read this, you can apply it to today. You get what I'm saying? Think about how heavy. That's one verse. But that verse is like 10,000 pounds. Because it's telling you, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. Meaning what? Don't pay no attention to them. Right. Don't give them any consent. In other words, don't give them a green light to pull you into their lifestyle.
Right.
You get my point? Keep reading.
Verse 11.
Uh-huh.
If they say, come with us, Let us lay wait for blood.
Man.
Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause.
Man, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are y'all picking up what he laying down? It says if they say come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Not trying to single you out, but because of your background, what's happening there? Give me an example.
It's basically saying pretty much like trying to rob somebody or poke them or
You see what I'm saying?
Mischievous.
Think about it. Come with us, let us lay wait for blood. What's the first thing? If you was in the world, what's the first thing that come to your mind? Nigga, let's go hit that lick. You get what I'm saying? Let's kick down the doors, right? Nigga, let's lay everybody down, and if anybody move, we popping them in the head.
Let's find us a sweet, we call Vicks.
Thank you. Yeah, let's go get some Vicks. So we finna go steal this car, right? Because it's not registered to none of us, right? Nigga, we in ski masks and gloves. Nigga, we finna go lay in wait. You get my point? It says the reason why this shit resonated so much was the part that says let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Meaning what? Niggas ain't did shit to you.
Right.
But like you said, they a Vic.
Right.
So you pull up, nigga, you just scoping it out. Y'all niggas sitting there and probably listen to some Al Green or something like that. You understand? You know, some Ozzy Brothers, something, you know what I'm saying? Y'all seen Minister Society, they was listening to some laid back, they was listening to some smooth shit, right? And they was just laying back in the cut and they was chilling. They seen them Vicks, even though they wasn't innocent, but y'all get the point though. They seen them Vicks, they went and got them.
Right.
They went and lurked privily, meaning they was low key with it. They was private with it. You get my point? And caught them slipping. This is what the scripture is talking about. But not just that though. Come on with it. Because I can give y'all the flip side too. Come on with it.
I always hear people talking about the Bible as it's old. Oh, that was back then. That was back then. But you think about the children dealing with the peer pressure and the bullies and stuff. That's exactly what these two scriptures are talking about right now.
That's 100. And I'm so glad that you mentioned the girls because you can apply that there, and that's where I was going, right? You got these young dudes, you know what I'm saying? Let us lay wait for blood. These young innocent girls that don't know no better. You finna fill their head up with all kind of bullshit. Next thing you know, y'all sharing them and y'all taking turns. This girl 12, 13 years old, you 18. You get my point? That's the thing. Or the flip side is, what did Cardi B admit to not too long ago? Set niggas up. You get my point? Enticing them, sinners, enticing you, getting you back to the room. Nigga, you think you finna hit something, nigga, you get back to the room, nigga. It's 7 niggas in there, nigga, with AKs. Nigga, give me all the loot. You get my point? And that's exactly what she didn't have AKs and shit on deck, but she may as well have because she was doing what?
Drugging them.
She was drugging them. And getting them for everything. What's the name of that movie? I don't think she was in it. This movie came out oh, she was? Y'all know which one I'm talking about then, right? Yeah, Hustlers. That right there is verse 11. What they was doing is actually verses 10 and 11. Because it says, if sinners entice thee, right? And we all know they was some sinners. How do you know? Working in the strip club. Well, the Negroes anyway. That ugly ass heathen. I mean, shit, do your thing, nigga. You trying to hit that nigga. Something wrong with you. Your eyes might not be that good. You understand? I'm gonna try to listen. Oh, nah. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I know. Let's just keep reading, man. Let's just keep reading. Give me some more.
Verse 12. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave and whole as those that go down into the pit.
Let us swallow them up alive, right? In other words, man, let's make their lives so miserable because of what we did to them. It's like you killed them.
Right.
You get my point? This is just an example. Do not try to twist it into nothing else. I'm not advocating it, right? The biggest and worst example that you can give is when you rape a woman. Is that not like death?
Right.
You know what I mean? You've killed all the innocence in that woman. You get my point? That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? If you rob a brother that's worked hard his whole life, you know what I'm saying? You come and rob, you come break into his house, man, and you tear up his whole goddamn house. How he gonna sleep at night? When his kids was in the house. Or his kids, it's like when his kids could have been in the house. You get my point? You killed that man mentally because he's like, damn, and now his mind is just spinning because he's like, man, what about this? What if this could have, what if that would have happened? You know what I'm saying? You're going to drive that man crazy. You get my point? Who had their hand up over there? You did?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay. Come on with it.
Just to carry on what you was bringing out with Cardi B, you know, not only was she drugging him, but she also admitted that she had a, I don't know if her friend was, she said her friend was a transsexual or was just a gay dude, but sometimes she'd have that dude, after she drugged the dude and stole all his crap, dude.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And I didn't know about that. You knew about that? Damn, but you see what I'm saying, though? That's death, man.
Right.
Nigga, come on with it.
And so, like, if I may, just to piggyback off what Officer Iraq was saying, that's what happened to a lot of the hip hop people that all of a sudden came to fame.
Right.
Hollywood.
Right.
Is because they would go to the parties, and these girls that had already been sent to, they would drug them, and when the brothers woke up, they would wake up with 2, 3, or 4 of those little hats in the bed with them.
Yeah.
You know, the small hats, the little Jewish men.
Oh.
They had, or even
I believe it.
pictures.
Yeah, I believe it.
Them having an interaction with a man, but the brother didn't know anything about it
Because he got drugged.
And he just keep his mouth closed.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of them are like. One, you heard them on the music.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, they were real big. It's because of stuff like that.
Listen, man, you're not gonna convince me that these cats that's super owned. You're not gonna convince. Maybe there might be a couple people you might be able to convince me of, but the one that come out of nowhere and just you know what I'm saying, go across the sky, nigga, like a meteor. To me, you're not gonna convince me that they did that with hard work. Unless you want to call what they're doing behind closed doors hard work. I mean, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, like, how do you know it's true? Harvey Weinstein, he's just one of them. What's the other dude? Kevin Spacey, he's another one. You get my point? And these are the ones that James Franco, he was another one. You get my point? These are just the ones that they decided to let us know about by name. You get my point? Because think about it, right? Think about it. And I'm not promoting this. This is an example, right? Walk with me, right? I'm an A&R, right? I'm a label head, right? Or I'm a director, and I got a limitless budget on the next movie that I want to do, right?
Right.
And I need a leading lady for this part, right? So I do a casting call, and it's 10 females that line up for this casting call, right? And they all got talent, right? What makes one stand out from another? Why should I hire you over you? I'm gonna pay you $20 million to do this movie. Why should I cast you in this movie and not her? Think about it. You telling me that's not what happens?
Right.
You want this part? You do? You know what I'm saying? You read your lines, yeah, you did your thing, you read your lines, yeah, that's what's up. All y'all read your lines and all y'all read your lines on a high level, that's what's up. How the hell do I determine who I hire for this part? What makes you better than her?
The casting couch.
Done. I listen. Nah, I'm not even. You're right. That's the best way to sum it up. Just by saying the casting couch. Because I was going. Nah, we're gonna leave it at that. Perfect way to sum that up. But that's what separates them. That's how they decide when they have all these casting calls. You get my point, and that's how they determine who's gonna be the leading lady. You get what I'm saying? You think it's just like you think these same females that they use in Hollywood, you think they the only ones that can act? Right. You get my point? Why is it they got the part over her? Why is it that she was owned and then next thing you know she just fell off the face of the earth? What happened? Or why did he fall off the face of the earth? You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it's like, well, shit, we didn't got everything we could possibly get up out of him or her. You know what I'm saying? You're 32 and been ran through this cycle a whole bunch of times. She's 19 and no one knows who she is. Let's get her. You get my point? And that's Proverbs 1 and 10, right? Let's keep reading. Let's go to 13.
Verse 13.
Uh-huh.
We shall find all precious substance.
Uh-huh.
We shall fill our houses with spoil.
We shall do what?
We shall fill our houses with spoil.
You see what I'm saying? That's how you know what we're talking about is 100. Because what is spoil? You know what I'm saying? How do you you know what I'm saying? How do you fill your house with spoil?
It's the loot.
Exactly. To take someone's goods, right?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So you didn't took all that, you didn't stole all that dope, then you went and flipped it somewhere. Now you big own. You get what I'm saying? So now you buying all these fancy Italian leather couches, and you know what I'm saying? You got big water beds, and you understand? You done bought your goddamn leopard some damn where. You understand? Like, man, you got gold plated sinks and all kind of stupid shit that you buy because you don't know what to do with your money. You get my point? That's the thing, right? Keep reading, please. Oh, man.
Casting thy lot among us.
Uh-huh.
Let us all have one purse.
We all know how that work out, right? We're going to put all our money together. Let's just have one big purse. How does that usually work out, right? Keep reading.
Right. My son,
Uh-huh.
walk not thou in the way with them.
Uh-huh.
Refrain thy foot from their path.
You see what I'm saying? Verse 15, man, is super ridiculous heavy, right? Why is this, okay, why is this scripture heavy? I'm going to give y'all a hint. Because it's twofold. Verse 15 is twofold. Let's read it again, and then y'all tell me why it's twofold.
My son,
Uh-huh.
walk not thou in the way with them.
Uh-huh.
Refrain thy foot from their path.
Why is the scripture twofold?
Literally, literally don't follow them, and then also figuratively don't follow them. So, wherever they're going, they might be going, with them trying to go get that lick. Like, don't go with them and go get that lick.
Uh-huh.
And then also, basically, don't be doing the stuff that they doing, period.
Yes and no. I need something more specific. Why is it twofold, sis?
So don't follow the Christians and join the UPK.
The first part is 100, right? You're right.
Okay.
You're right. That is how you would sum all this up to avoid these last few verses that we've been reading. To avoid all that, you would come in here, you understand, you learn the wisdom and the instruction, and you won't, you know what I'm saying, allow sinners to entice you. So the first part that you said was right about this, about the Christians. Don't follow the Christians, right? Give me some more though. Why is this twofold? It says, my son, walk not thou in the way with them. Christians is an example, but why is this twofold?
Because it's literally saying don't walk with them, like meaning don't be around them, and don't follow like that, like their ways, like don't do what they do.
You're more on it. You're more on it, sis.
So it says remove your foot from their path. The refrain is to remove, right?
Yeah, that's true. It says refrain thy foot from their path. The twofold is the them and the there. That's the twofold part. So why is it twofold? She was on it when she said the Christians. Give me some more.
Don't be around certain people, and don't be around the areas that those same certain people are at. So don't be around the Christians, and don't go to where Christians come together.
That's true too.
No.
To an extent. And the reason why, okay, if you're strong enough, you can go where the Christians are. You want to know why? Because you'll prophesy against what they're talking about.
Right.
You'll go in there and you'll battle, you'll cut them all to piss. You get what I'm saying? So, like, for example, what we do our flyer campaigns at, you know what I'm saying? That's not everybody that's just willing to just receive us with open arms.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We in our minds, we was prepared for battle, right?
Right.
With the scriptures and push come to shove physically if we needed to. You get my point? So it's not saying don't go amongst them, right? So when it's talking about the Christians, who else is it talking about?
Oh, I was just gonna say we're not supposed to act like them.
That's true. Anybody else?
The other nation.
That's it. That's why it's twofold. The Christians or the heathens is saying, refrain thy foot from their path, right? Meaning, don't take on the culture and the customs of the heathen nations, right? Christians is a good example, but when you read up, what's the even better word than Christians? If you read up a few verses when they talk about hitting licks and all that, right?
Your worldly brothers.
That's it, right? Your so-called friends.
Right.
Is how you would sum all that up. So it's twofold because this is talking about your so-called friends and it's talking about the heathen nations. You get my point? Read it again.
From 15?
Uh-huh.
Okay. My son, walk not thou in the way with them.
Walk not thou in the way with them, meaning don't go hit them licks. Don't go set nobody up. You know what I'm saying? Don't go selling dope, right? And then it says,
refrain thy foot from their path.
Don't celebrate New Year's. Don't celebrate Easter.
Right.
You get my point? That's why it's twofold. Because it's telling you to be leery of who you keep company with and then learn not the way of the heathen.
Right.
Proverbs 3:31, I believe that is. You get my point? That's why it's twofold, though. Because it's telling you to stay away from your so-called friends. It's also telling you not to pick up the ways of the heathen, right? Keep reading.
Verse 16.
Uh-huh.
For their feet run to evil.
For their what?
Their feet run to evil.
Uh-huh.
And make haste to shed blood.
You see what I'm saying? And that's how you know that you can apply. That's how you know that you can apply 15 to the heathens. Because when you read verse 16, whose feet run to evil and make haste to shed more blood than the so-called white man?
Right.
You get my point? Other than your friends that were in the world. Right. Depending on what background depending on the background that you come from, you know what I'm saying? Your old self, y'all got a lot of blood. Now, let me rephrase that. Our old selves has a lot of blood on our hands. Our old selves.
Right.
You get my point? So that's why when it says, for their feet run to evil, at one point in time, your old self, your feet ran to evil too. You get my point? Your old man hands is dirty as shit. You get my point? The heathen's hands is always dirty.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? How do you know? Y'all watch the news. Y'all see what's happening in Capitol Hill. You get what I'm saying? Y'all see what's happening all over the world. Y'all see what's happening with these cops and how they shed innocent blood.
Right.
And get away with it. You get my point? Keep reading.
Verse 17. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives.
Let's break that down. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
It's basically saying like they can see like the trap, they can see the net, but it's pointless for them to see that it's a trap because they still, end up going that route anyway.
Perfect. 100. You get my point? Give me an example. Because what you said was spot on. Give me an example.
Well, like for example, selling drugs. You see,
perfect.
You see every day people get robbed, killed during these transactions.
Man.
Police come, kick in your door, tear up your house, take everything where you get indicted, RICO laws and all types of indictments you catching. But people still go out there and try and sell drugs.
See what I'm saying? 100. You had something?
And what's so heavy about it is because people be like they'll say there's only 2 ways out, man. Either dead or in jail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Man. And that, you know what, man? Nah, what you said though, man, that's for sure 100. Because the thing about it is, we all was warned about it, and we all still did it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I never sold drugs. You know what I'm saying? I did other stuff, but the stuff that I did, I knew how it could possibly play out, and did it anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Our old selves, we're all guilty. Our old selves. That's why you understand. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. You understand. For these law, statutes, and commandments, for the UPK and the Commander General Yohana, you know what I'm saying? For all the men above us, you understand, that got hours upon hours of tapes for us to lean on, you understand, for us to clean ourselves up. You get what I'm saying? And because of Christ is why we're all here. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's because of Christ we were able to kill the old man and the old woman without having to go into the grave. You get what I'm saying? And that's why we owe our everything to Christ. Because he laid his life down, you understand, for us, despite us not being worthy of it. You understand? Despite us not being deserving of it, you understand, he did it so that we can be here. You know what I mean? So we owe our lives to the Most High in Christ. You get what I'm saying? So that's why everything that we do is supposed to be symbolic of what Christ did. Meaning what? Christ walked this earth perfectly. And we're supposed to do the same thing because we was given another chance. You get what I'm saying? That's why Proverbs is here. That's why we read these things. You get what I'm saying? So that through these dark sayings, you know what I'm saying, we'll have these law, statutes, and commandments, you know what I'm saying, printed in the forefront of our mind. You get my point? So then that way we'll know how to walk when we out here in these streets. You get what I'm saying? And you broke down 17 perfectly, right? 18. Give me 18. Break 18 down. Read it again, then break it down.
And they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives.
You know what I'm saying? Basically, Bakar broke it down. He broke 17 and 18 down at the same time. You see what I'm saying? And they lay wait for their own blood, meaning what? They know it's only a matter of time.
Right.
They know. So they're gonna try to get as much as they can get because they know somebody's gonna get them. You know what I mean? And somebody could either be one of your so-called homies that's hating on you because nigga your bread looking better than his, or he might turn informant and drop dime, and now the cops is surveilling your shit.
Right.
You get my point? So you might fuck around and get robbed by your partner, or you might mess around and get robbed by the cops and still go to jail. You get my point? But either way, knowing that all these things are possible, knowing that you doing this makes you known. So because you're known, they know who your girl is, they know who your kids are, they know where your mama stay. You see what I'm saying? They know all these things, and you know that they know all these things about you, and you do it anyway, knowing that if they can't get to you, they'll just go touch your mama. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the game.
Yeah.
How many times you said, nigga, if I can't get to you, nigga, I know where your mama stay. Everybody in here or everybody that's watching this tape has, you know what I'm saying, either said it out their own mouth or know somebody that just said it out their own mouth and warned the nigga, hey nigga, okay, nigga, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got something for you. Don't even trip. Your son go to what school? Okay, I got you. You get my point? They know all that and understand all that and will go do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? You know your spot is hot. You know the police is sitting on the block. But in your greed and your lust, you'll do it anyway. And then go to jail and say, oh man, why they fucking with me? Right. You get what I'm saying? Just think about that for a second. Think about how simple we were when we wore t-shirts saying free Big Meech. You know what I'm saying? Or free Big T-Top or whoever the fuck. Think about it. Why did they arrest T-Top in the first place? We never asked ourselves that part. We just walk around with the goddamn t-shirts on, not realizing how stupid we look. Because I know somebody, hey man, you might want to chill. Nigga, they own you. Nigga, everybody know that your shit popping. Right. You know what I'm saying? Do it anyway. Nigga get popped. Oh man, why the police fuck with me? Nigga, you ain't worked in 20 years, nigga, but you riding around the goddamn Phantom. What you think, nigga? Like it's not that hard to figure out. Right. You know what I mean? But that's the thing, though. That's what happens when you get caught up in the things of this world. You'll start to think that the ones that are doing wrong is actually doing right. Because all he's doing is selling drugs. All he's doing is pimping. It ain't that bad. He ain't robbing nobody. He ain't hitting no ladies upside the head, so it ain't that bad. Look, he bought turkeys for the whole neighborhood. And so we're trying to justify the wickedness. You get my point? Come on with it.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Just piggyback on what you were saying.
Uh-huh.
Now they just put all the information on social media so the cops don't even have to look real hard.
That's the funny thing about it, right? I think I told you before in class, right? I mean, I had a partner, man, when I was in the world, right? This nigga, he had an Instagram, right? And he just had like an assortment. He took a picture of an assortment of pills, right? I got the hookup, holla at me, right? On some Master P type shit, right? I got the hookup, right? He ends up going to jail, right? And the nigga wanted to know who told on him. Nigga, look in the mirror, nigga, you told on yourself. Fuck you gonna post the goddamn drugs on Instagram and say I got the hookup. Come on, man. And then get out trying to figure out who told on him. Nigga, look in the mirror. Nigga, you told on yourself. Man, I'm trying to tell you, I'm going to kill that nigga that told on me. Next thing you know, that nigga sitting there like, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, he offing his own goddamn self because he's an idiot. You get my point? Come on, man. You get what I'm saying? But that's the thing, though, right? When you live that life in a few verses above, verse 18 is telling you, lay in wait for your own blood.
Right.
Right? That just goes to show you how selfish and how greedy and how lustful we can be when we're in the world. You see what I'm saying? Think about it. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 19. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain.
That is what?
So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain.
That is greedy of gain. Who that sound like?
That sounds like, our so-called friends in the world and the heathen.
Yeah, that's true, but specifically, greedy of gain.
Our so-called preachers.
That's it right there. Specifically, they're greedy of gain, right? It says, so are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain. This is how you know that you can apply that to them. Read the rest of it.
Which taketh away the life of the owners thereof.
How do they do that? By lying to you and taking your money.
Right.
You get my point? By going out there and saying vote or die. You get my point? We've been voting and we still dying. How'd that vote for Biden and Harris working out for us? How's that going? What y'all do with that 2,000 y'all got in y'all account? What y'all do with that? You know what I mean? What y'all do with that? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. That's my point. But y'all voted because y'all wanted that $2,000. You understand? The Democrats is back in office. Man, let's party. And all I want to ask is all those that love the Democrats and all those that voted Democrat, I got one question for y'all. What happened the last time there was a Democrat in office? How'd that work out for y'all? I'll wait. You get my point? Like I told y'all before, you know what I'm saying? Barack Obama his nickname was the Porter-in-Chief. Everybody talk about Trump for that wall, you understand? But it started with Obama. And you know who was in the shadows lurking? Work on your whispering skills. It was Joe Biden. That's who it was that was lurking in the shadow. His vice president, his running mate.
Right.
You get my point? So if he is with Obama, then the fuck y'all think he gonna do now? Now he the one that got his finger on the button? He might not push the line to build that wall because that's too public. But I guarantee behind the scenes, trust and believe there will be some strings being pulled. You get my point? Why? Because they take it away the life of the owners thereof. You get what I'm saying? Come on.
I was going to say to your point you just made, a lot of these crazy laws came in under Obama.
Come on, man.
People up and being
Come on, man.
Like do no-knock warrants and all that stuff.
Man.
All that stuff is from Obama.
Thank you.
That wasn't from, and people fail to realize that they look at Obama and they look at his face.
Right.
Think that they see a black man up there, but they don't realize behind the scenes what's going on.
Right. No, that's 100. You know the thing about it is though, I'm glad that he's not black.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because think about it if he was. You know what I'm saying? Like nigga, like that he be MLK times 2.
Right.
You understand? Like he takes the coonery to a whole nother level. He takes the wickedness to a whole nother level. MLK was bad, but that so-called nigga was worser. You get what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, nigga, go look up Biden. Go look up his background. Go look up his track record. Since y'all think he finna make some shit better, go look at how him and his running mate, the other so-called Negro, go look at her track record and go look at how dirty her hands is. And y'all think they finna come in and just clean up everything and everything will be better for the Democrats in office? Man, y'all niggas is in for a rude awakening. You had something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say they ain't gonna never. I want to say to the people, you know what I'm saying, to Israel that don't know what we know. Right. They is not going to never allow a slave descendant in the, you know what I'm saying, in office.
That's a fair point.
And in the White House, of course, they will have them in as a governor or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
They will not have them as a president.
Nah, that's a fair point. And if they do, I'm trying to tell y'all, man.
Boy,
It's the
worst one.
Well, listen, man.
He's just gonna be a robot too.
Listen, man. Listen, man. The white man gonna have his hand so far up that brother's ass that every time he open his mouth, you'll see knuckles.
Yeah.
You understand? Straight, like every time he talk, you gonna see somebody's fist, because he won't be making no decisions. You know what I'm saying? You man, trust me. But even if he was in office, shit don't pay it. No, it don't mean nothing to us anyway. You get my point? Because we have our king, we have our commander in chief, we have our president, or whatever term, you know what I'm saying, that you want to use, and that's Christ. There is no greater leader than Christ.
Right.
You get my point?
Right.
And if we follow him, I mean, shit, who cares who's in office? That's why all this stuff that's happening, we're unaffected by it. Shit don't faze us because we following our king. We're actually doing what our king told us to do. You get my point? Keep reading.
Kind. Verse 20. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse. In the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying.
Stop right there. Who does that sound like? Verse 20 and verse 21.
The UPK.
That was the answer I was looking for. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because we've been on the street since 1969 reading Revelations 18 and 4.
Right.
You ain't gotta pull it, but y'all get the point though.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? We've been on the street since 1969 reading Zephaniah 2 and 1, Matthew 15 and 24, on and on and on. We've been on the streets teaching wisdom. We've been crying on them streets. Was Isaiah 58 and 1, cry loud and spare not? We've been doing that since 1969. You get my point?
Right.
We've been everywhere, you understand, imaginable, you know what I'm saying, with this wisdom. Right? What else have we said? Read verse 22.
God. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
How long will ye simple ones love simplicity? You get my point? Somebody give me an example of simplicity. Because I'm gonna read one for y'all real quick. Somebody give me an example of simplicity. It says, how long will ye simple ones love simplicity?
I mean, like, you know, the simple things that, you know, we love is thinking that a president will change our conditions and things like that. Like, just because Joe Biden is in office, you know, he will be able to save us from our hellish conditions, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's simple, you know what I mean?
It's very simple.
Time after time again, we think that someone is going to save us when the Lord is only going to save us, you know?
Yeah, no, that's a good one. You got one?
You can take the dietary laws, how simple it is. If you just read the dietary laws and follow them, and we're not going to have all those health issues, but the way that we act is, you know what, I'm going to keep eating that and do that anyways until, you know, Dr. Whitecoat tells me I need to lay off the pork.
How simple will you simple ones? How long will you simple ones love simplicity? Right? That's simple. That right there is simplicity, right? You have something?
So like you said, how long are they still going to go in those churches thinking that those preachers have the truth for them?
That's another good one, right? You got one?
I was gonna say just marching, thinking that you're gonna be able to march.
That's an excellent one.
Way to freedom.
That's an excellent one. I'm gonna read one for y'all real quick. Who is Erica Banks? Meet the rapper responsible for. Anybody know who Erica Banks is and what she's responsible for?
The Bussy Challenge.
Get that man a hand. Get that man a hand. The Bussy Challenge.
Yeah, that's
Damn, I know about something you don't. Damn, boy, the world is flipped upside down. Let me school this youngster real quick about what the Bussy Challenge is.
right.
We ain't gonna go into depth. Just know it's something for simple ones. You know what I'm saying? The fastest way I can sum it up is by saying, you know what I'm saying? It's a before and after, right? It's females wearing just regular clothes, no makeup, no weave and all that shit. And then the after is them having them long ass eyelashes that go from here to the garage. You understand? Some goddamn booty shorts on, a pound of makeup. You understand? Goddamn weave going as like looking like Rapunzel and shit like that. You know what I mean? They shaking they stinking asses. You get my point? That's the busted challenge in a nutshell. You get my point? But the reason why I use it as an example, because that's modern day simplicity. And for everyone that's doing it, that would make you according to the scripture, a simple one, right? That's what it says. How long will you simple ones love simplicity? Everybody that's out there doing that busted challenge is simple. The busted challenge itself is simplicity. You get my point? You can go so many different directions with it. I went there because it's something that's going on today, but that was written long time ago. You understand? Come on with it.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, it's so powerful. It just, them words, just thinking about how our oppressor knows how simple we are.
Man.
How much simple, because you think of just even for the guys, just with us, with our sports and stuff that's just so like meaningless to nothing. It has no real purpose of nothing. And we just love it. Like we just, idolize it so much. And just so much I just think of all the simple things in life that we get and we just love it.
Right.
To indulge ourselves into it to where it's like if we don't have it or we can't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost un-American when we feel like we're our liberties are being taken away because we can't be simple.
Right.
And then when you mention like what we do, we break down these scriptures in these classes. They look at us like, dang, you got to be all smart and know everything.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to know who you are. You don't want to know, you know what I'm saying, why you're here or your existence. But you care about who Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Man. They know how. And sometimes I used to look at the news, so I if I made and be like, why is this even news?
Man.
Why are these people who are paid money to talk about Kanye West and Kim Kardashian? Why is this even important?
Bruh, that's
if I had a TV or a machine and I could bring information to people, why the hell am I bringing that to someone? Right. It's because of this scripture right here on how simple people like simplicity. They like it's stuff that don't even matter to nothing. Right. It has nothing to do with nothing. Nah, that's 100. And they promote it as if it's fresh news. It's the best news you can hear all day. You be like, God damn, what the hell is this? Nah, that's 100. And thank you. And what you're saying is heavy on two levels. One, right? They want to tune into shit like that, but yet they'll reject the class that you brought out on New Year's. Right. And that class still stands out to me because you had brought us some information that I hadn't even heard. Right. That was a heavy ass class, man. I mean, you did an excellent job breaking down the truth about New Year's. The simple ones hate stuff like that. Right. You get my point? The other point that you brought out that was heavy as hell is, right, how you know that we're the simple ones and how our oppressor is so hip to our simplicity is with all the riots, the protests, the being pissed off about George Floyd, being pissed off about Breonna Taylor. How did they put a Band-Aid on all that and make us look the other way? He just said it a couple minutes ago. With what? How'd they do it? With the news, nah, before even heavier than the news. How'd they put a Band-Aid on all the sports? Thank you. Sports. That's how they did it. Basketball is back. You know what I'm saying? We having the playoffs in the bubble. You get my point? Who's going to win the championship? Is Giannis going to win MVP? Is LeBron going to win MVP? Who's defensive player of the year? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to be the New York Jets' next coach? You get my point? Who's going to win the national championship? It's going to be Michigan. It's going to be Ohio State. You understand? It's going to be Clemson. All these different, they throwing all this different shit at us to make us look that way. Hey, y'all, look over there. Meanwhile, Breonna Taylor's murderers are still cops. But we'll forget about that. Why? Because we're simple. And we love simplicity. Sports is simple. And I'm not saying don't watch sports. What I am saying is don't get so caught up in sports to where you forget that devil had his knee on that man's neck for damn near 9 minutes. You understand? Right. Come on with it. No, to that I was just gonna say, that's one of the reasons why Kyrie Irving, you know what I'm saying, like I say, is missing from the team. Right. Because he's realizing like, damn, man, they using us to be that distraction.
Exactly.
They using us to keep the public, our people, simple. Wow. These people are storming the goddamn Capitol building. And they want me to go goddamn
you see what I'm
play
saying?
basketball to keep y'all from worrying about
right.
That. And you got people, brothers like Salaki,
no, go ahead.
That see that and you look at the media and how they're bashing them.
I'm so glad you said that.
They bashing them. They're like, what is wrong with Kyrie and this and this and that?
Mm-hmm.
And they're not saying why he's really doing it. They know why, because
right.
I'm sure he let them know, like, he's vocal about.
Right.
He said it before in the bubble, before
right.
the bubble started.
Right.
Like, he was one of the players that was like, we should start our own league. Like, man,
right.
this is our time right now. Like, man, forget playing basketball.
Right.
He's trying to distract us, like what you just said about the George Floyd. And
right.
He was one of the ones that spoke up.
Right. Not only that, but the Jacob Blake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Meanwhile, we worried about James Harden getting traded to Brooklyn.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
and again, I'm not saying don't care. I'm not saying like, oh man, I'm not saying don't be interested by it. If you like sports, you like sports. But they threw that out there in the midst of Jacob Blake's murderer getting off.
Right.
Yet again, the white man shedding innocent blood and being able to walk away. You get my point? When you think about Kyrie and you think about how bad and how much they bashing that dude, who does it remind you of? Colin Kaepernick. Why? Because they bashed him for something that had nothing to do with what they was bashing him for.
Right, exactly.
You get my point? So what happened? Because the white man is so cunning and so crafty, they'll push it on all the platforms to the point to where you start to say, well, damn, he's right. Because you hear it, they just drilling in your head to where you'll start to think, why is he taking a knee during the national anthem? That's our national anthem.
Right.
Why isn't he playing basketball? He's getting paid millions of dollars.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And you'll start to side with the dude on TV, not understanding the dude on TV is paid to fill your head up with simplicity. You understand? As Israel, I'm not gonna be able to get, because I still got several more scriptures, so I'll maybe do it as a pre-topic next class, because there's still a hell of a lot more heavy scriptures, even the rest of 22. We'll read the rest of 22 and we'll close out on the rest of 22. And Lord allow, we'll go into the rest of this next week, because it's this class, man. Listen, the book of Proverbs, the whole book of Proverbs is a heavy ass book. Don't get me wrong. There's something about the first chapter, man, that like it resonates with me. And it just sticks out in my head, because this game is so heavy. And when you read this, it's like when you look at it on the surface, like, oh man, I don't really seem that all that heavy. But when you get to applying it, you be like, God damn, like that shit'll blow your head back. You get my point? And so that's the thing, right? Read the rest of 22, because this shit right here is heavy too. Read the rest of 22, please.
And the scorners delight in their scorning.
In the who?
And the scorners delight in their scorning.
Uh-huh.
And fools hate knowledge.
You see it? It's talking about them fools hate knowledge again, right? Yeah. So who are the scorners?
Those that are hating on, scorning Kyrie Irving and whatnot. Everybody that's listening to it, feeding off of it, like they love all that, basically all that hate. They take delight in that.
That's true. Well, anybody know the definition of scorners, or what a scorner is?
I mean,
take a shot. No, go ahead.
But
paraphrasing.
Like basically to bring down, like scowl, to degrade, basically.
Right. No, that's true. I wrote a little bit of the definition down, right? And it says a person who expresses contempt or disdain for someone or something. Right? Come on with it.
A really great scorner is Creflo Dollar, and what he scorns is the word of the Most High.
Absolutely. That's a perfect example. Your so-called pastors are the scorners. Why? Because they'll come up against everything that we teach them. You get my point? A scorner, biblically speaking, is anyone that comes up against the truth. Anybody that comes to battle us when we at camp. You get what I'm saying? Anyone that jumps into our chat and starts saying all kind of, unnecessary bullshit, trying to distract us. You get my point? Trying thinking that we simple, thinking that we gonna fight and feed into that. You understand? And for some that are a little bit unlearned, it'll work. Why? Because you'll be so busy trying to battle that cat. What's happening in the midst of you trying to battle that cat that's talking all that shit online? What's happening in the midst of that?
Basically playing into their game. And
that's true, but in the midst of you playing into their game, what else are you doing?
following their path.
That's true, but what else are you doing?
You're being distracted from what's being actually taught in the class.
100. You're not listening. If you battling him or her, how the hell do you hear the breakdown?
Right.
If you so busy worried about what he's saying. You get my point? Now, if he say some shit that's out of pocket, yeah, you respond. You know what I mean? But if you get into a big old back and forth, right? You get into a big old back and forth, now you sitting there with your phone in your hand. I can't wait till this nigga respond. Soon that nigga says I'm owning. I got this. I'm finna go to battle with this nigga. You so locked in on that, man. You're not hearing these breakdowns. You get my point? And that would make you simple. You get what I'm saying? Don't allow the scorners to knock you off your path. You get my point? It says a person who expresses contempt or disdain for someone or something. You get my point? We're the someone. Because they come up against everything that we say. You get what I'm saying? That's how you know that this is the truth.
Right.
Because everybody's against it.
Right.
Everybody loves the lie. Think about the lie of Christmas. Think about the lie of Easter. Think about the lie meaning what they sell you on what the meaning of Christmas actually is. Or I gotta go to it again because it's coming up, Valentine's Day.
Right.
Think about the lie. Think about how much better the lie feels versus the truth about Valentine's Day. You get my point? That's how you know that, you know what I'm saying, that what we doing is right and everything that they're doing is wrong. You get what I'm saying? Not only do the Christian pastors come up against us, right? But a sinner would come up against us. Right? Someone who loves pork is gonna come up against us.
Right.
Every chance he get. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all listened to Across the Line last week, right? That cat's whole point in bringing up for the follow Christ, he was double-minded, getting out of both sides of his mouth, all kind of shit. The whole thing about it, the whole point is he probably heard one of our tapes talking about, you know what I'm saying, how pork is unlawful, and it cut him to his core. Because he was probably getting ready to take a bite out of a ham sandwich when somebody pulled, you know what I'm saying, the dietary laws, and he got to read that pork, and he said, God damn it, and he was pissed. You get my point? Scorners will always come up against us, and if you're in here, right, just be prepared for it. You know what I'm saying? All these scriptures that we read leading up to 22 is to prepare you for scorners. You understand? And with that, Pastor Clancy, preaching officer of a car.
We are the ISUPK. We started out on 1 West, 125th Street in Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew. Maisharah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, a free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Our upcoming holy convocations is the Feast of Purim, which is on February 25th through the 26th. If anybody wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. All right, so men of Israel, and with that, men of Israel, Amijah, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Amijam Shabbat, Amijam, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahweh
Thumb.
Men of Israel. With that class dismissed.